Good afternoon, beautiful spirit. Rector Arundel here from Able Spirit to Me. Able Aum. Soham Hansaha Swaha. Welcome back. Thank you for joining me. So today is a video that's just a quick update of what's going on. Um, so I recently recorded the generic infinite energetics exercise for beginners. And after doing it, I find it to be very, very effective. I will say that maybe the background music is a little too loud. I haven't heard any feedback yet, so maybe that's just my interpretation. If so, if you agree and you want to have it changed, let me know. I haven't changed it yet personally because it still works, but it's very easy to adjust that. Now, to get down to it, the second video that I promise everyone, the advanced technique, I recorded it and I made it into an MP3 and I tested it myself, and I'm not loving it. And the thing is, the practice is great, but I don't think I performed it well enough to share with you all yet. So what I'm going to do now is tell you the actual mechanism, how you can do it on your own. So you don't have to have a guide if you want to do it. And you can tell me if you still want a guide. I can still post what I've already made, and I can even re-record it. But like I said, I just don't love the way it turned out, and it's all my own fault. It has nothing to do with the technique. It's just the way I don't like. I don't like that. Maybe I worded it incorrectly, or I didn't bring forth the emotions that I was intending. So let's talk about what my intention was. My intention was to utilize a certain Reiki technique in which, rather than visualizing this being that you are trying to heal, like in the first video, instead, you are going to pretend or imagine that you are actually inside this body of this being that you want to heal. And when you're doing that, you have your eyes closed. This is the second method is more of a meditation, not so much in the background, but more of like a intense. I'm sitting down and focusing on this with my whole intention. So it's a meditation because meditation is supposed to be focusing on one thing only. So you are sitting down and you're imagining that you're inside this body of this being that you're trying to help. And there's a few different components. The second component is that you're also using the same idea that God, you're a deity, source, whatever you want to say, is also inside this body. So you're actually embedding this energy internally. You're imagining that you're inside this body of this being on the earth you're trying to heal, and God is also inside this body. So you kind of close your eyes and you see yourself in this other body with all their hurts, all their pains, all their suffering. And you also see God inside this body as a brilliant, very bright being. And as a side note, I've also been recently led to watch a lot of videos and read a lot of literature about this being not only brilliantly bright, but also kind of like a bluish or a purple color. We can go into more detail about where that came from and why it might matter. But for now, just visualizing a brilliant, bright being inside this body. And again, you're imagining that you're in the body of someone else, not yourself. And you're going through the same practice. You're doing the microcosmic orbit, seeing the light go through the forehead, through the head, down through the throat, through the upper chest, lower chest, and settling there. Then going down from the chest to the solar plexus and down to the lower abdomen, settling there. And then you're going through the lower abdomen and going through the rest of the technique. Now, one additional part of this technique is, and I don't want to butcher the pronunciation, it's an old yoga technique that I learned from the Shiva Samhita. And I think I'm pronouncing that incorrectly too because I haven't looked at it in a long time. It's Sanskrit. And the Vrajwale, or Vajroli, I don't know how to say it right now, sorry, technique is it's kind of like a Kegel movement or a floor construction or constriction movement where you're pulling up your pelvic floor and kind of shunting the energy up your spine. But there are some advanced techniques of this practice. For example, you can separate it into 3 or more steps. you can constrict the front of your pelvic floor constriction, or constrict the front of this kegel. So, like where your genitals are, you can constrict the front first, and then you can constrict the floor, which is the perineum or perineum, and then you can constrict the back, which is around your pelvic bone. I'm sorry, your tailbone or your anus, and then as you hold that, the energy moves up your lower spine, past your kidney area, past the area below your ribs, which is around the pancreas, and then it goes up to the middle of the back between your shoulder blades. That's the third cycle, as we've discussed, and then you can breathe again after it settles there into making the air energy go up from your middle of your shoulder blades to your lower neck, your upper neck, the back of your head, and to the top of the head. So once again, this meditation that I recorded, I don't love it. So rather than listening to my own recording, I've been just doing this practice throughout the day. So even without focusing on the breath, I put the tongue on the top of my mouth, the roof of my mouth, the palate, or I hold the Kechara Mudra. And the Kechara Mudra is not possible for everyone right away. In fact, I would say it's not possible for most people right away. Even for me, I can't hold it the whole time unless I'm sitting for meditation. Otherwise, I have to relax and put the tongue in the roof of my mouth. So I'm just focusing on this physical body, and I'm pretending or I'm imagining that it's not my physical body, it's the physical body of someone I want to heal personally. And I have actually quite a few people in my personal life who are in desperate need of healing right now. So if you have a hard time thinking about someone who is in your need, my meditation that I recorded talks all about all the examples of people around the world who are in suffering, and you can imagine someone that you don't know personally. Um, I don't know, it's just not perfect yet, so I don't want to post it yet. But if you really think hard about it, you could probably know someone personally already who could use your healing. So this other meditation that's supposed to elicit emotional response for general people all around the world, it's not perfect yet. So just think about someone that you really know, that you really want to heal. They're having a hard time with life. You can think about them. You close your eyes, or if you can have a really good imagination, keep your eyes open and see yourself in the body of this other person. And then imagine that God is also inside the body of this other person, which means you're actually feeling God inside yourself as well, because, well, for one thing, God is in you, and also God is inside this other person. So you're seeing brilliant, bright light of white or blue or gold, it depends on your belief system, or purple, go from the forehead, through the head, through the throat, upper chest, and settle in the chest. And then it goes down through the solar plexus to the lower belly, dwell there for a minute. Then, as you breathe in again, you work through this multi-stage Kegel movement, flexing the forward part of your pelvis, then the lower part, the perineum or perineum, back to the tailbone or anus, and then it goes up. It's like I said, it's shunted up your lower spine to the area right below your ribs, which is the pancreas area, and up to the middle of your shoulder blades. Let it settle there again, and then shunt it up again from your shoulder blades to the neck, starting at the bottom, working up its way from the bottom of the top of the neck to the back of the head and to the crown. Now, you will start to feel these blissful sensations if you do take deep breaths and hold them, and you do this Kegel movement, or Vajrayana, I think is how it's pronounced in Sanskrit, where you're pulling up on the pelvic floor with your Kegel movement, and it's shunting the energy up your spine. So, um, what I have done, rather than post this video, I'm not this video, but the video of the advanced practice, is just try this practice on my own to see if it works. And to me, it's perfect. It's perfect because you don't have to actually listen to an audio. You can do it anytime when you're thinking about it. Anytime you're bored, anytime you're thinking about someone else, anytime you don't have anything pressing, you can breathe in this way. 4 breaths. Breathing in here, it goes down to your chest. Breathing in here goes down to your lower belly. Breathing in your lower belly, it goes to your upper back. And breathing from your back, it goes up to your crown. Now, that being said, during all of these practices, I am incorporating a very important Reiki technique, which is calling energy to yourself from the universe. And it's important that you state the proclamation that you're only interested in energy from universal higher beings of light and love. I think I call them benevolent beings in my meditation that only have the highest possible outcome for all beings. And there's lots of ways to word it, but you're not interested in lower dark entities who are interested in manipulating you. So you just rule it out and say what you're interested in. And I also invite, any beings who are interested in this practice without self-benefit, without any expect for payment, etc., and who wish to be involved in this mutually beneficial practice. So it's hard to describe how it makes you feel, and that's why I was trying to do a meditation so you could feel it for yourself. But until I get the meditation right, I don't want to keep the information to myself and make you all. Sorry, I thought I heard like a drone above me. Anyway, I don't want you guys to lose your ability to practice this just because I can't make a meditation that is good enough, in my opinion. Um, I have a lot of people right now that are close to me who are in a very dark place. And when you're in a dark place, you don't really have the motivation to do practices. You may not have the motivation to fast. You may not have the motivation to meditate or to do Tai Chi or Qigong or Falun Dafa. But you may have the motivation to breathe in this way during the day. And that reminds me also of an important practice that I started incorporating again in my day-to-day activities, and that is from the book that I've written, called. Sorry, my neighbor just walked by. It's called. Man, my brain is spacing. On the Path, an energetic approach to enlightenment. So in that book, I talk about a very useful and effective energy saving mantra. And it starts with dedication. So you're saying dedication to the path, dedication, dedication. The next step is stillness of the body, stillness, stillness. So try to remain still in your physical body as much as possible. The next step is stoic. So when something creates an emotional response, rather than letting it out physically by screaming and shouting or crying or hitting something, you keep it in. The next one is storing, meaning you focus on one area in your body that you're going to put this energy into. I recommend putting it into your lower belly, your lower abdomen. And then, classically in my book, I said the next step is called tuning, tuning. So rather than saying tuning, tuning, now I'm replacing that term with loving and happy. Because these are two things that we want to be more of. We want to be a combination of the two universal energies, the Shiva, Shakti, masculine, feminine, yang, and yin. So up above, the energy of God, which is yang. And below, the Kundalini, the motherly God, energy, which is yin. And I think I got it right this time. In my past video, I mixed them up, so sorry about that. Anyway, loving and happy. So now, during my day, I am trying to keep my tongue on the roof of my mouth. I'm trying to do Keichura when it's appropriate or comfortable. And I'm also saying this mantra in my head: dedication, dedication, stillness, stillness, stoic, stoic, storing, storing, loving and happy, loving and happy. And I'm also visualizing these people in my life who are really having a hard time right now. And I'm seeing this energy. I'm closing my eyes, or I'm even keep my eyes open, but imagining that I'm inside their physical body and I'm seeing them healed by this beautiful energy going through the microcosmic orbit. And I'm visualizing God inside myself when I'm in their body. And it's a great exercise. And once I figure out a better way to make a meditation, I will. So anyway, I think that's all I have to say for now. I hope you guys are doing well. I'm doing better than usual, better than I have in a long time, and it's these practices that are making it happen. So if you're in a dark place and you don't know what to do, I would try to do this first. You know, there's lots of recommendations out there. You can deprive yourself of um, stimuli like avoiding social media, avoiding food you like, avoiding um, Netflix, etc., to reset your um, dopamine receptors. And you can also fast to, well, you can cleanse yourself a lot of ways. But if you don't have the motivation to do any of those things, I would highly recommend that you listen to my previous video, Infinite Energetics for Beginners, because it's the same practice that I'm recommending, but the advanced practice, you actually visualize yourself in the body of the person. And another thing that I haven't mentioned yet is when you are calling energy to yourself, what you can do is you can lift your hands up high, like face your palms facing the sky while you're saying the proclamation. And then you can also shake your hands or clap them, and you can feel energy inside your hands. You can feel the buzzing. And when you are visualizing this other being that you want to help, you're thinking about all their energy centers. You can actually imagine that your hand is massaging or rubbing over these areas. And what was interesting is you'll feel your energy change in your hands. You'll feel your energy. It's hard to describe. You're going to feel tingling change, different parts of your palm, different parts of your fingertips. You might even feel a pulse or a beating. You'll just feel it in your hands. It's fascinating. But as you're healing these different parts of this other being, you're going to feel the energy change in your hands. And if you do use your hands to do this practice, it's highly recommended that you shake your hands afterwards or wash them in cold water just to wash the energy away, because once again you're using energy from the universe. You're not using your own energy to help someone else, and you don't want to keep anyone else's energy with you, because you can only send positive energy with Reiki, but you can receive lower vibrations from other people if you're tapped in too long. And this is often how we get depressed and sad. We are, always with good intent. We're always spiritual beings trying to help others. But if we're submersed in other people too long, we can feel their negative vibrations, and it can affect us to the point that I've had my spiritual episode, which lasted several months actually. I'm just now coming out of it. So, what got me out of it was listening to my own book, following my own advice, and that was actually it. Listening to my own advice and doing the practice. So I'm back now, and this new practice is very effective, but I didn't do a great job recording the new practice. So try this one. Let me know what you guys think. Sorry, this video is 18 minutes long. I never want to make long videos. Just sometimes I have to make it clear enough. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, or email me. Please, if you do subscribe, hit the little bell button so you know when I post a new video. I appreciate you guys. Be well. I will. Thank you.